Hey everyone, welcome to Simple Shogi Tactics number 7. I had an interesting Twitch stream last Friday with several tough games on it, with a lot of interesting tactics in it. So I'm taking my tactics examples from those games. If you want to see the games as they were played with my live commentary, Twitch will save the stream for a couple of weeks, so I'll give you a pointer to that, and you can go check out the stream, see the original games if you're interested. This game, I was playing a stronger player, and I had Sente, so I wanted to try out against this stronger player my fourth file rook opening, which I'm pretty familiar with at this point. I've played it quite a bit, and my opponent has done something very interesting already. He's done a quick silver advance. He had to push that pawn out of the way and then move the silver up there. Often this pushing of the pawn on the third file is a cue that he's going to be attacking with the silver this way, at least in my experience. And I have faced this kind of setup before. I think it's interesting that Hidechi gives a different line. He shows a line where the quick silver attack comes from the right silver rather than the left silver. He pushes this pawn forward, and the silver comes out this way. So the silver gets to the same spot as this silver is coming to, but coming from the left side, and then this silver is kept back on the right side for defense. So that's another way that Gote can play here, and that seems to be pretty popular. He did like a whole bunch of videos, although he did it where actually it was the side playing the fourth file rook was Gote, and the other side was Sente. But in my experience, that doesn't make too much difference. It probably does if you're strong enough. But in practice, I see mostly people attacking with the right silver. So I have some experience with this quick attack with the right silver. And so I wasn't afraid of what was going to happen. I just kept continuing in my usual fashion. I do a Mino castle, my opponent castled. And then we get to this position where he starts pushing the pawns. And so, well, now I'm in for it. I just have to defend as best I can at this point. I just thought it shouldn't be too threatening, right? I've got silver over here, a knight, a bishop. The rook is nearby. Sometimes the rook swings over to defend. There's a lot of different ways it can evolve from here. And so I didn't really think he should be able to kill me with just the rook and the silver attacking. When he gets the knight in and the bishop involved, then it gets more dangerous. But so anyway, I was just defending move by move here. Didn't have any big plan. And he sacrifices a pawn. Oh no, he trades a pawn, but then he sacrifices a pawn, and he actually sacrifices a second pawn here. So this is an interesting way to break through, and he pushes the silver forward. And when I looked at this game afterwards, I was still doing okay up to this point, but my next move was a mistake. I didn't see any way to defend against that silver, and I didn't want to let him take my bishop, and I wasn't sure there was a good square to move the bishop to. So I took the silver, but that trade allows the rook to come in and promote to a dragon, and now the dragon is in my camp, and things are pretty good for my opponent. So that attack is a success at this point. But I have a tactic here that allows me to defend. So here's your tactics quiz. What's the best response for me at this point? He's just as a reminder, he's just brought this silver forward, attacking my bishop. Okay, I'm going to give the answer away now. It is a kind of a tactic I might have thought of. Here, let's make a branch so I can just show it on the board here. If somebody presented this to me as a tactics quiz, I might have thought of it, but I surely did not think of this idea during the game. But the rook is charged with the defense of that silver. The silver is only defended by the rook, and there's a way to take advantage of it. And I have 3 pawns in hand because of all the pawns he sacrificed. So there, that interferes with this this defense. If he doesn't take the pawn, I'll take the silver. So he takes the pawn, but I have 2 more. I still have 2 pawns. I drop another one, he takes, and then finally I drop the last pawn. But at this time, he's got to move his rook somewhere, and then I can just take that silver for free. So actually, this position was good for me up until this point. And then right here, when I took his silver instead of doing that pawn drop, then it became a good game for him. Okay, let's check out the next tactic. The next tactic I wanted to show you came from this game. I was Gote here, and I was facing an opponent who was actually lower rated than me, but he put up really a tough struggle. You can hear me saying during the video how these players are a lot stronger than I was when I was at that level. Anyway, this I think I was just missing stuff, because we'll come to several opportunities I had to make this game a shorter game. It turned into a really long game. In this game, my opponent played the fourth file rook, and I played the static rook. And I went for a setup which I played a lot also, the Gangi or Snow Roof Castle. And let's just roll forward. Just wanted to show you the initial setup of the game. Somewhere around here, my opponent switched his attack from the fourth file to the fifth file, and he's got this open file for his rook with the pawn in front. And on the other hand, I've managed to open up this file for my rook, just the same old rook file. And my king's castle has been disturbed slightly by some of the activities here. There were some exchanges here. And we both have some pieces in hand. A bishop has been exchanged, a gold has been exchanged. And then I'm about to break through right here. So this is a key moment, and he runs with his king, which was a mistake. He should have dropped down and blocked. He should have blocked with the gold. That would have been the most solid defense here. But he ran with the king, and right here at this position, I have a good move. So can you find the good move for me? It's interesting how often these attacks... Anyway, I'm going to give the answer away now, so pause the video if you want time to think about it. But as I was saying, it's interesting how often these attacks come down to a matter of time. I mean, if I do nothing, my opponent is going to get something going. Here, he's got pieces to drop. He's got a pawn here with a rook behind it. It's a dangerous situation for me, but I just have a faster attack in this situation. And hopefully you all found this move. I'm going to make a branch here. And the move is this one. Just drop the bishop there. If you look at this, these positions here of the silver and the gold, they're very poorly positioned there for defense of the king. I mean, the gold defends the silver, but the gold itself is floating. It's not even defended. And then the squares behind the king here, we have double protection on this square. The silver and the gold both defend that one, but where I drop the bishop is completely undefended, and so the king has to run. And in fact, after the king moves, there is a forced mate here. It's not a tsume problem because the move that mates is not a check. So after that hint, can you find the mating move here? Okay, once again, pause the video if you want time to think about it. I'm going to give the answer away now. It's the mating move is knight to 1f. And the threat is just bishop to here and promote. And that's a mate. And there's actually nothing he can do about it. The king has no moves. He has no pieces he can drop in this area that would stop that. A gold here, for example, doesn't cover that square. The bishop, what about a bishop drop? Yeah, if he drops a bishop here, took me a while to think of that. If he drops a bishop here, then you can drop the gold here. I guess let's erase that and put it off the board. Say he drops a bishop to try and prevent the mate, then you can drop a gold here. And he has to take it. The king can't run, it's protected, so the king can't take, so bishop takes, and then you take back and promote, and that's the basic mate, and there's just no way around it. The only thing that he can do is throw some pieces away, so he can defer the mate for a little bit by giving checks to me, but in the end, that's a mate. Okay. In the game, I just took the silver here since I didn't see that bishop drop. That's It's kind of embarrassing, actually, because that's one of the most obvious things there with the dragon protecting this, attacking on the back rank, and this square unprotected near the king, and you've got either an angle piece, bishop or silver. You would automatically look at placing it there, because at the very least it would win this unprotected gold here. Anyway, let's continue on with the game. So both sides are attacking. It's one of those exciting games with mutual attacks. And let's go forward to move 74. Yeah, let's back up. So I dropped a bishop there. So right here, there's a nice tactic. And if you want to look at the position on the board, see if you can spot the best move here. Okay, I'm going to give the answer away now. The answer is you want to sacrifice this silver. You can drop the silver right here, and all you're doing is recreating the condition that we saw in the previous tactic. You're forcing this gold to come forward, and then you can drop the bishop here again, and he's in big trouble. This time I think he can defend for a little bit. That didn't show a forced mate from this point, but it's certainly a winning attack for me, so that would have been clever. And it's a nice drop. That drop there. It's something to keep in mind when you see your opponent's forces are well organized, but there's a way to disorganize them by sacrificing a piece and clear the back rank too. That's always something to look at. But as I was saying, I dropped a bishop here instead, and then the game continued, and both sides are attacking. It was a pretty exciting game. one of those games where it could go either way, because one slip would change the outcome, and you can see my king is getting chased all around here. But I was keeping the upper hand most of the time. I had a material edge, and I managed to get my king to a safe enough position. And then right here is a critical point when he's trying to defend and finding the best way to defend. And he dropped a pawn here. And so this one, well, you can think about it. I'm not expecting you to get this one because it's more complicated, but it's a very nice. It's no longer a simple shogi tactic. This is a more complicated tactic. But if you want to look for the best move right here, you can pause the video and think about it some. Okay. Well, as you saw in the game, I played this move. Takes the pawn, and my bishop and my rook are coordinating on this gold here, but that pawn drop had interfered with my dragon along this rank, so I was just getting rid of it, and then he took back with the wrong gold. It actually would have been stronger for him to take with the other gold, but rather than giving him that opportunity, what I could have done here is I could start with a sacrificial attack. So this is the nice idea. You take here, he takes, and then you take here with the bishop. So you're sacrificing the bishop for a gold. You're trading the silver for one gold and sacrificing the bishop for the other gold. I had a gold in hand to start with. So now I've got 3 golds, and I still have the king here. And there's actually a winning attack here. So you can drop the gold here, sacrificing even more. And if he runs, well, then you can just take here, and you're breaking through with the gold and the silver. With the gold, with the dragon and the gold, you're breaking through here, and you've still got lots of pieces in hand. So that's a winning attack. But if he takes the gold, that's got to be the question. What if he just keeps accepting your sacrifices? You just keep sacrificing more. I think this is the correct square to sacrifice on. No, I guess it was this square. It was this square because you wanted to bring the gold over. You sacrifice here, and well, if he runs up, you can drop a gold here and force him to take that. And if he takes, then you have the dragon here, and gold here is mate. So a pretty nice mate with all those extra pieces you have in hand, and there's just no way out. Although that's That's the kind of sacrificial attack I would have trouble seeing, but it does start with a trade, so you could do that much, and then look at this position, and then this is another trade. You know, you're just exchanging a bishop for a gold, so that's reasonable. But then this one, the killer blow, that's hard to see. But he can't run and he can't take. It's strictly a forced mate if he takes that gold, and if he runs, then the dragon comes in. So anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed those examples, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.